I don't know who you are, but I have a particular set of skills. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. If you go now, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
All right, Liam. I was only asking him if you wanted to come on my New Year's Eve special. Hey, let's start that show! Nice to see you all. Did you have a nice Christmas? Did you? Really? I sort of feel like it's passed me by this year. I can hardly remember it. But listen, we are going to see 2014 out with a bang. Yes, the star of Taken and Oscar-nominated for Schindler's List, Liam Neeson is here. Yes, he is. British actor playing Stephen Hawking in The Theory of Everything, Redmayne. He's on the show. The star of Pitch Perfect and Oscar nominated for Up in the Air, Kendrick. She's joining us. Plus, we've got the fastest thing on two wheels, Olympic champion, Sir Bradley Wiggins. He's here. And I'm thrilled to say, singing the song of the year, Eurovision star Conchita is singing it today. Yes, she is. Hey! Happy place. Taking me to a happy place. Oh, they're here, seriously, Conchita's here. Lovely to have Liam Neeson back on the show. Here he is in action. Oh, yeah. Wonder which of his special skills he's demonstrating there. Ooh. I score at Candy Crush. And Sir Bradley Wiggins is here, an Olympic champion and winner of the Tour de France. Here he is in action, and in peak condition, ladies and gentlemen. He really is. I bet he can't wait to retire and let himself go a bit. I mean, this is Chris Hoy nowadays. Oh, lovely. And while we're looking at people in Lycra, indulge me, please. Let's remind ourselves, this is one of my favourite pictures of the year. Have you seen this? The Colombian women's team launching their new kit. The shame. All excited, putting them on, and then like, oh. Of course, the big sporting story of the year was the World Cup. Here's England manager Roy Hodgson arriving in Brazil. Oh! And a few days later, bye! Didn't even unpack. And a big welcome to Kendrick. She's now starring in the musical film Into the Woods. But, of course, Oscar nominated for Up in the Air with George Clooney. And the big story this year, George Clooney got married. I know. I tell you, some people were heartbroken when they read the news. Stupid, sexy human rights lawyer. Long hair. And first time on the show for Redmayne, currently playing Stephen Hawking in the brilliant new film, The Theory of Everything. Now, the film is a love story about Hawking and his wife, Jane. You see, geeks can be sexy. Well, not all geeks, obviously. Yeah. That's Ed Miliband there, trying to eat a bacon sandwich. Mind you, Nigel Farage didn't do much better. I think he's just found out that was made by Hungarians. Hey, but ladies and gentlemen, let's face it, 2015 could be UKIP's year. It could, I tell you. Although, if he doesn't want people to think he's a right-wing extremist, he should really be more careful when standing in front of a microphone. That's how rumours start, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to your song! Later we'll be having music from Conchita. But first, he's a tour de force. It's Sir Bradley Wiggins! Suited and booted. Hello, sir. Very different squad. Lovely to see you. Come in and sit down. So good. Sit, 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 sit. She's so good, she's fit perfect. It's Anna Kendrick! Wow! Beauteous. Hello, my dear. Lovely to see you. Come and sit down. David Boys. And I'm really taken with the star. It's Liam Neeson! Is this? Oh, welcome all, welcome all. Now, did everyone have a nice Christmas?
Yeah. Did go past very quickly,
didn't it, though? Yeah. In a blur. Anna, what was your best present?
I mean, I was just high the whole time. So high.
And Eddie, nice Christmas?
A wonderful Christmas, yeah.
Yeah, of course you did. Of course you did.
I like making hams, and I made a very Delia Smith ham.
He's so on it, isn't he? He's good right there with his Delia Smith ham. Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah, by the time this is shown, there'll be some sort of ham outbreak of something. Why did he eat a ham? Bradley Wiggins, are you like, you know, if a dad likes golf, everything he gets for Christmas is golf-related. Is everything you get bicycle? Like, is it like socks with bikes on, a mug with a bike on it?
No, my son's mad footballer, so everything we do is related to Neymar and Barcelona, even though we live in the north of England. So we're playing in a muddy field, pretending to be in Barcelona. I'm pretending to be Jimmy Bullard from Blackburn.
That sound is ovaries clicking. Everyone's so like, oh, what a lovely dad. That's so lovely. It's done very good. But what's the thing about when you're travelling, your wife has to carry all the bags?
Well, my wife's a bit of a panel beater. No, she...
Happy New Year.
No,
a chill came over the Wiggins household.
No, she's a strong girl. And she... No, I'm serious. For years, like, when I was training, like, so whenever I get... She took me to the airport whenever I'm going somewhere, or she picked me up from somewhere, and I got my suitcase full of all my gear. She said, don't do that, love. Let me sort that out for you. So she always chucks it in the back of the car, or chucks it out the car. Because she's sort of clean and jerks 200 kilos. She's a good girl. And, So
is that what's wrong with that?
Yeah, no, honestly.
Oh, look at you! We didn't know what we were expecting to see. Some sort of Russian gymnast up there. The wife's lovely.
No, but so, you know, she's always conscious of me, like, biggest competition, you know, I'm at the airport, do me back in, oh, I can't compete. So she was like, let me do that. Stand back, let me do this. Northern accent, note the northern accent.
Yeah, no, very good,
do this.
If that's her actual voice, I would laugh a lot. You don't sound like that, do you?
No.
No!
She does it.
Now, listen, we've got lots of New Year's treats to talk about, because really, really good films on their way. So let's start with The Theory of Everything, Eddie Redmayne's movie. Congratulations on this film. It's just brilliant, and you're extraordinary in it.
Yeah.
And as we speak, you're SAG nominated, you're Golden Globe nominated.
Yes.
Yes!
Yes!
Yes! It's the Stephen Hawking biopic. It opens tomorrow, New Year's Day. And... let's not pick at that. It'll be a long evening otherwise. And, I mean, listen, I'll gush. You are brilliant in it. You're just so good in it.
Thanks.
And a difficult performance anyway, but presumably so much more pressure because Stephen Hawking is still around, he's so familiar to us, and he was on set, I believe, yeah?
He was, yeah. It was one of those extraordinary things where I read this script and I thought it was going to be a biopic of Stephen's life, and it was actually this kind of extraordinary love story. And so I did that thing that you do with job interviews of kind of chasing and pretending to be really confident and know exactly how you'd get the job, and you persuade people that they should hire you. and then you get the call saying that they have hired you, and you have a sort of moment of euphoria, followed by a sort of sucker punch of fear, basically.
Yeah.
And that's sort of sustained for when you're playing someone real, and you know they're going to see the film. It kind of... I didn't sleep, basically, for 9 months. So.
And when you see Stephen Hawking on TV and stuff, it's also like instant.
Yeah.
But meeting him takes longer. I mean, the speech isn't immediate.
Yeah, so when you see Stephen on, when he's interviewed, often he's sent the questions in advance, and so he's prepared the answers. But when you meet him and he's speaking live, he just uses this muscle beneath his eye to communicate. There's a sensor on his glasses, and so it takes a wee while. And so when I met him, I'd spent like maybe 4 months researching everything about him. He'd gone from full-on icon to sort of idol status. And I arrived to meet him, and there was this very unique rhythm, this kind of long, long pauses. I have a hatred of silence, and I proceeded to genuinely just spew forth information about Stephen Hawking to Stephen Hawking for around 45 minutes. It was catastrophic, yeah, it was bad to start.
But then presumably you get into that rhythm and it's all
well,
right.
You do, but that didn't stop. There was this, he'd just come out with a book called My Brief History, an autobiography. And in it, he talked about how he was born on Galileo's birthday, 300 years after Galileo, which was the 8th of January. And so I was making chat, sort of verbal monologue, and I said to him, well, Stephen, you're born on the 8th of January, and I'm born on the 6th of January, and we're both Capricorns. And the second I said it, it actually still makes me sweat. But the second I said it, he looked at me, and then he spent about 6 minutes. Those 6 minutes is a long time, silence. And then he said, in his iconic voice, he said, I am an astronomer, not an astrologer. And that was basically the second thing he said to him, and the idea that Stephen Hawking thought that the guy playing him in a film thought he was Mystic Meg was too much to bear. So, yeah, it was a great start, but, yeah.
And of course, the film, not just the story of Stephen Hawking, it does tell the story of his first marriage, and it's based on her book.
Absolutely. So Jane, it's based on Jane Wilde's book, Stephen's first wife, who's a phenomenal woman, an amazing mind and brain in her own right. And, yeah, it's a love story. It's a sort of complicated but delicate but quite passionate love story, really.
Well, listen, we've got a clip, and this is kind of the start of your romance,
yeah.
And before the motor neuron disease has really taken hold. This is you in The Theory of Everything.
You see how the men's shirt fronts and their bow ties, how they glow more than the women's dresses?
Yes.
Do you know why?
Why?
Tide.
The washing powder.
The fluorescence in the washing powder is caught by the UV light.
Why do you know that?
When stars are born and when they die, they emit UV radiation. So if we could see the night sky in the ultraviolet light, then almost all the stars would disappear, and all that we would see are these spectacular births and deaths. I reckon it would look a little
Like that.
And in terms of being in movies, The Hobbit, every English actor in the world was in it. What gives, Eddie Redmayne?
Oh God! Do you know what? For a few years there were the Harry Potter films. There was a whole family of ginger people, and I thought that somehow I might be part of that at some point. Never happened. And then The Hobbit, when after the Lord of the Rings, that they were auditioning for The Hobbit, and I was sent an audition for Bilbo Baggins. Which shows that they were really casting the net wide. And I went to this audition, and I'd been really rigorous about it, and didn't want to, just do my usual boring thing. And so I went on YouTube, and I found Ian Holm, who had played it in Lord of the Rings, and I tried to copy his character, and I arrived there, and the casting director put on the camcorder, and I started reading the scene. My name is Bilbo Baggins. I thought it was being brave, like being bold. And before the word Baggins would come out of my mouth, she said, no, own voice. Own voice.
No, I never got a call back.
I think that's good to tell that story because you always hear these famous stories about, well, about like Elijah Wood dressing up as a hobbit and filming himself out, you know, on the moors somewhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to get that part. And you always hear about these. You always hear the stories of the actor being brave and really doing something kind of mad to get a part, and you're like, I'm gonna do that. But they never tell you the stories about the actors who did something mad, and they're like, then that's you.
Because Liam Neeson, presumably you don't audition for anything now.
Never, darling.
No. But in the past, in your youth, you did. Was it The Princess Bride, where you were called in?
Oh, yeah.
To be a giant.
Yeah, and Rob Reiner, the director, whom I'm dying to meet someday, because I will pull him to task on this. This very sweet casting directress, I forget her name, lovely lady. She got me in to meet Rob Reiner for The Princess Bride for the Giant. And I cycled in from Putney and locked up my bike and got in, and you know how you do, take 3 deep breaths and you walk in, and Rob Reiner said, I asked for a giant. This is, what are you? I said, 6'4", you know. That was it. There's no hello, how are you? Thanks for coming. Come here.
You will find him.
I felt bad. I really felt for the casting directors. She just wanted the ground to kind of swallow her up.
Who did get it?
Andre the Giant, God rest him.
They should have just gone to him, really.
I know.
The clue's in his name. And Eddie, I can say you've got the Golden Globe nomination, and now I know you don't want to think about these things, but you must be thinking about, will Mr. Oscar, will there be a call? Will there be a call, Mr. Redmayne? It's Oscar on the phone. It must be in your head. You'd be an idiot if it wasn't.
Do you know what? I don't think you can... If you listen to all the buzz, then I think that's where madness lies. I'm going to look to Liam and Anna for this.
Well, because you've both been through it, because Schindler's List, you nominated for that, and you must be swept away by it a bit.
Well, I enjoyed it. I knew in my heart of hearts I was not going to win. And so I actually enjoyed it. I had a great, great night, you know?
But even in that moment, there must be people going to... You might say Liam Neeson.
No. I've been very honest. I was absolutely convinced it wasn't going to happen, and it was okay.
Because, Anna, you, Up in the Air, obviously nominated for that. And
I had the same experience, though, where I felt actually really relieved that there wasn't, like, oh, maybe she won the SAG, but she didn't, you know, I didn't win anything. And that was all. I just sat there happily as a nominee and drank as much as they would give me.
You'll find the Golden Globes, you can have a really good time because they serve drink, you know what I mean?
But they tell you that they serve food and they don't. Pack a power bar.
Yeah,
It's serious.
Good to know.
I'm not kidding.
Thank you. A power bar. What is a power bar? That sounds
You know, like a...
Bradley might have to...
Like a meal replacement bar. You know, like a Cliff Bar. You guys have those.
Protein bar, yeah.
Protein
we
bar.
live like animals, Anna. We don't know. Well, I think, yeah, we do. That's...
Yeah, you know, well, okay, so pack some, I don't know, trail mix. You have trail mix? It's nuts and dried fruit. It's the idea of something very small that you can take with you on a hike. That's why it's called trail mix. It's sort of calorie packed, good fat.
I think they get it, Anna. I think they get it.
Okay, no, I feel like this is important. Okay, are you all with me?
She's a woman on a mission. But here's the thing, you know about Oscars, you got to, you know, the losing, the winning, and you would think winning would be the simple part. But winning the Tour de France, Bradley, I read in interviews where you said it wasn't unadulterated joy, that there was also difficulties that came with it.
Yeah, I think you do something for 3 weeks, day in, day out. You get to the end in Paris and you don't almost realise what you've done, because in some ways you just want to get home.
Yeah.
And for me, there was definitely... It wasn't an enjoyable experience. The end result was, when I look back now, it was an incredible experience, but during it, I wasn't overjoyed every day.
No, but that moment in the Champs-Élysées...
Yeah.
That must be amazing.
Yeah, but do you know, the whole thing with the Champs-Élysées was... The biggest moment of that Champs-Élysées was not standing on the podium winning the Tour de France. It was more leading out. One of my best friends is in Mark Cavendish, who won the stage win. So being able to lead him out, which was a childhood dream of mine, was be able to go across the Place de la Concorde in the yellow jersey and lead the world champion onto the Champs-Élysées, who then eventually won the stage. That was more of a dream than... I crossed the line, they said, you won the Tour de France. I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Cheers. Yeah, thanks for that, nice one.
But now, you're giving up the road racing.
No, look, I'm not giving...
Oh, you're not?
No, I am. Oh, look.
How do these rumours of drug use start? I don't know. I just don't know.
No, look, I did the Sydney Olympics, what was that, 15 years ago, and that was my first Olympic Games, and so I always wanted to end it doing the same thing. So why not go to Rio, 36 years of age, bit of an old fogey, and give on?
But you are doing one last road race. Is that this is the Paris-Roubaix?
Yeah. So traditionally, that is the toughest race in professional cycling. It's across cobblestones, and not many people that have won...
No, I'm with Eddie just went, what? You did it, what?
But they don't have much
I was talking to you about it earlier, and you were loving it. now you're mugging me off, saying...
But cobblestones on those bikes, aren't they?
You pretended to know what that was all about. Now you're like... but anyway, yeah. Pretty tough race, that. Yeah. So it's on cobblestones and...
But do the bikes have suspension, or do they...
I told you earlier.
Wait.
You didn't tell me. Do they have suspension?
No.
OK.
That must hurt. That must hurt a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty painful, you know. You can never have kids again.
Heavy lifting, no more kids. It's a terrible life up there. Listen, the thing about cycling, of course, can be dangerous. So when you were coming on, we were sort of looking for cycling images, and we found one of a cycle crash. I love this picture because actually it's not a picture of someone crashing on a cycle. It's a picture of someone on holidays, I think in Berlin. So they had their picture taken, unaware of what an amazing photograph had been taken. This is it. So... That is a brilliant crash. That is a very good crash. So that's a kind of a classic of the kind of perfectly timed photo. So we collected a few more to look at tonight. Here's one. That could be Kim Kardashian's baby. We don't know. This next one is so freaky. In case you're confused, that is a woman, she's sitting on a zebra. There are her feet there, and that's the rest of her. Here's another one. What's this? Single to barking. And here's the next one. Now... Oh, my God. I'm not sure if that is a perfectly timed photograph or whether that's just really happened. I don't... Because even the dog is looking around like, what? I don't remember eating that. What's up next? Oh. So there's that. Now, that isn't very impressive. That isn't very impressive. But you know the expression, hung like a Japanese baseball player's arm? Where that expression comes from. Yeah, that's where that comes from. And finally, it's back to cycling. Very good. Well done, all the birds got pictures. Very good. Now, New Year's Eve, it's a time to reflect on the year gone by, and 2014 has been another very good year for our old friend, the red chair. So let's enjoy some of the best bits.
Hi, Graham.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
What's your name?
Jessica.
Jessica, lovely. And what do you do, Jessica?
Oh, dear, they asked me this earlier. I'm a real estate sustainability consultant.
That's not a great way to open.
Who's up next? Who's up next?
John from London.
Hello, John from London. What do you do, John?
I'm a plumber.
And are you wearing shorts, John?
Yeah, it's hot Friday, isn't it?
He can... I like it.
All Fridays are hot.
He can predict the weather. Plumber and meteorologist. Yeah, I do both. I think over this story, Tom.
I got called out to a job in Chelsea for block trains. Me and my partner was there. We've gone there, we've done the blockage.
Oh,
the lady of the house said...
Hey, that was impressive.
So it was New Year about 4 years ago. I had lots of friends over. We were drinking, and throughout the evening, the doorbell kept ringing. And I ran upstairs to my front door, opened the front door, couldn't see anyone there, apart from a man walking down the street. So I yelled out at him, "Why are you ringing on the doorbell? Stop bloody ringing on the doorbell. It's bloody annoying." And the man looked really, really confused and turned to me and walked a bit closer and said, "Oh, hello, lovely to meet you. My name's Mark. I'm your new neighbour." And it was Mark from Take That.
Is that true? Do you recognise her?
No. My eyes have gone.
My eyes.
Where was the house?
In Wandsworth.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Should she walk or should we flip her, Mark?
No, don't flip her, no.
So she can walk?
No, you was having a party, weren't you?
I was, yeah.
I remember.
So why were you
knocking on the door? Because I was being a bit old. And I was asking them to turn the noise down.
You can walk, baby. Well done. Paul?
Yes?
And where are you from?
I'm from Colchester in Essex.
Colchester in Essex. And what do you do there?
Well, I don't work in Colchester, I work in Chelmsford, but I work in retail fashion.
God is in the detail.
I tell you where he is from is the bridge of the Starship Enterprise. That's where he's from.
So, when I was 13 years of age, I was playing golf on a sunny day in June. And the hailstone started falling, so I put my umbrella up and I got struck by lightning. My 3 friends watched me get hit by lightning. I phoned my dad and he didn't believe me and told me to play on. I went to hospital and my hand was paralysed for half a day and I had no feeling in my arms for 6 months.
Should we let him walk too? If he can. If he can. You can walk. Rafferty Fox. Did you change your name to Rafferty Fox?
Nah, dead.
So your mother and father decided to name you Rafferty?
Yeah, it's Dad's favourite pub.
Is that your story?
Yeah, it's pretty beyond.
Off you go with the story, Lana.
Oh, well, basically, tonight was very exciting for me because from the time I was about 13 years old, I used to have a kind of fantasy or dream about Mr. Stallone being my father.
She may be, I might be. It's scary.
Oh, my God. Well, Benedict Cumberbatch and I were actually at the same boarding school. We both went to Harrow, and there are lots of rumours circulating about what he got up to there. So I thought I'd use this...
Do it now.
We turn now to Liam Neeson, Taken 3, and this is out on the 8th of January. See? Hey, by the way, thank you for reprising.
I couldn't believe I forgot the lines. I've only said them 17,000 times.
Because, listen, everyone is delighted that Brian Mills and his particularly unlucky family are back.
Yes.
But no, like, really, if you see the Mills moving into the neighbourhood, just, oh, my God! Property prices plummet. But, because you did say this film wouldn't happen. Well, you said Taken 2 wouldn't happen.
Yeah, I said I wouldn't do the third one if someone got taken, because that's insulting to an audience, as well as me. And they said, no, we've got a good storyline, so they ran it past me, and it's actually Good.
No, it is, and it is actually... no, it is good. No, and it is very different. I mean, you still use your special set of skills,
Yes.
but this time in a different way, from a different angle, I would say.
Yeah. I'm sort of the hunted one instead of me hunting.
Yeah.
The authorities are after me this time.
But the shock in this one, and I imagine American travel agents will be delighted, in that this time we discover you don't need to come to Europe for bad things to happen to your family.
Do you know something? Just the other day, I got a legitimate letter from a school teacher somewhere in South Texas that was passed to someone else, that was passed to someone else, that was passed to someone that I eventually got. And she had tried to take 60 students from South Texas to Europe, to, you know, all the scenic spots in Europe and stuff, during a summer vacation. 40 of them, the families, got the kids out of it because they had seen Taken 2. And then this year she wanted to take 20 of them, and they all said no. The family, the parents said no, they're not going because we've seen that movie. Now these are kids that haven't left South Texas.
And never will.
So I'm trying to compose a letter to the teacher to read out to the kids and stuff. I don't know.
Well, they should look at Taken 3. America, very dangerous also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
And this time round, you've got some great co-stars. Dougray Scott's in it.
Dougray Scott.
The great Forrest Whitaker.
The great Forrest Whitaker, absolutely.
And about the clip we have is you and Forrest.
Yeah.
And it's... Honestly, you love a phone in a...
Oh, I love a phone.
You love a phone in a
Yeah.
Taken film.
Absolutely. That's in the contract.
Yeah, top phone acting. So what's happening here? What do we need to know?
I don't know the clip you're going to show me. I just have...
Well, Forrest is trying to catch you. Or
Yes.
hunt you
Oh,
down.
and I'm in a very snazzy car.
No, you're not.
Am I not?
Yeah, you are in a snazzy car, but not in this scene. This is basically you contacting Forrest, who's trying to hunt you down for crimes you didn't commit.
Okay.
I think.
And this is Taken 3, right?
This is Taken 3. It's the one that's out January the 8th.
I'll take your word for it. Go on.
Here we go.
That's it. By now, I'm sure you know who I am. You know what I'm capable of.
I am beginning to. Let me ask you something just so I'm clear. CIA operative, Division 6, Division 7, what?
All you have to know is I'm innocent. Give me 2 days, I can prove it. I can find out who did it.
You may very well be innocent, Mr. Mills, but that's the court's job to decide. It's not mine. My job is to bring you in and let the law take its course. That's it.
Good luck.
But one of the things about the first Taken and the second was that idea of someone who's not in the first flush of, you know, if you know what I mean.
You can say it. Go
of
on.
youth.
Yes.
But being an action
I was in
hero.
my 50s, yeah.
Yeah. But now it's 6, 7 years later.
Yeah.
And you're jumping over things. There's a big chase with cars. Like, how is all that?
Listen, I have a great stunt double. Mark Vanslow. He was in the show a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I remember him.
Pointed him out.
Yeah.
We've done 16 films together.
He must be exhausted.
And he's younger than me.
Oh, okay.
He does all the stunts. I do my own fighting. I like doing that stuff. But Mark does all the serious stuff.
But you still got to land, because sometimes it's obviously you.
But that's easy, you know. You start the camera and say, and action, and it's... We've all done that, right?
You make it look so easy. That's all it is. Because Bradley Wiggins now, you could presumably step away from the bike at this point in your life. But no sign of quitting. You're Rio full steam ahead, aren't you?
Yeah, What do you mean, step away from the bike?
Well, you know, again, very
Getting on a
tiring, the
bit.
cycling. So you could stop and just...
No, I love what I do. I love it. I absolutely love it. And the Olympic Games for me is the ultimate. And when I'm going to finish my career, another Olympics in Rio. I mean, what a way to go out.
So that will be the end, do you think?
Be nearly as old as you then, Graham. So I'll go. I'm going to have to call it a day, and
I can only walk the course.
Red chair.
But, you know, the sport's flourishing. Hence why I'm on Graham Norton.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm
But also, you have a gazillion gold medals and you won the Tour de France. So, you know, that's why you're here. They can all ride a bike. right. Now, we have the picture here of you on your throne.
Yeah, that's a good one, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice. Is this the one you tried to buy? You tried to
I
buy
do
it?
that every morning. They weren't actually at
Your
the
wife
Olympics,
lifts
though.
you onto it.
That's right. Yeah. Love, wipe me arse.
Now, you sort of brought it up, and because I feel bad, but people do want to know, when you're on a long road race,
Yeah.
you're not stopping at cafes to use the facilities. So do you hold it? What happens?
Just get it out. You do.
While you're cycling?
Yeah. So a lot of races, like, there's a race in March called Milan-San Remo, which goes Milan to San Remo. It's 300... Funny, isn't it? So,
it'd be funnier if it didn't.
It's 300 kilometres, which is, I don't know, what's that in miles?
Oh, it's many.
Yeah. And so that, yeah, I think it's 7 hours, the race. And you've got to have a wee in 7 hours, haven't you?
Yeah.
So you just stop.
Oh, you do stop?
You do literally stop. Pull your kecks down when there's no one around. If it's raining, you do it in your shorts. Which is true.
These are the rules, everyone. These are the rules. If it's raining, you do it. You just go.
If it's raining and it's freezing cold, you do it in your shorts because it warms your legs up. Hey, you know, everyone wants to know about the, you know, people ask about cycling. They love the, you know, cycling's quite popular now in the UK.
Yes.
Yeah. But
now it sounds like people are only cycling in order to piss themselves.
Me nan did it for years. And now she's still doing it.
Oh dear, that's a
Me nana loved that.
Yeah, I tell you. Now, because Liam Neeson, you shat yourself. No, you didn't. No, you I just wanted to say that, but no. But you... No, you did have a similar...
I nearly did once. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
This is how we get stories.
Really did. When I met Muhammad Ali for the first time...
Yes.
It was... like, definitely shaky knees, wobbly knees, and nearly lost control of the bowels. I mean, he was my idol. He still is. And there he is standing in front of you, and it's like, this god, this athlete. And he still had one more fight left. Two. And I was like, he's looking at me, and he's standing in front of me, and I'm a little bit taller. And,
you could have taken it.
I did. No, it was, oh my gosh, am I going to have an accident here?
Yeah, because that's not the way you want to beat your idol.
No. But I held it in. Just...
You think... Oh. So listen, our final great film tonight is what... It really is. It's so hotly anticipated, this film. Rob Marshall's adaptation of Sondheim's Into the Woods, starring Anna Kendrick as Cinderella. And Into the Woods, it is a Disney movie.
Yes, yeah.
So there's the original Disney princess. There she is.
Sure.
Lovely, beautiful, beautiful. Now, I hate to pick on Eddie. Come on! But, Eddie, your kind of... Would it be right to say your sexual awakening was a two-dimensional sexual awakening?
Oh, God. No, it's true that I was once interviewed and I was asked, like, you know, who were your first crushes, and I did. I loved The Lion King when I was younger, and I had a weird obsession with Nala. Look at her face, she's so sweet. She can sing really well.
That's wrong. That is so wrong. And is it true you like Maid Marian as well?
Yes, that is true. She's a fox, though.
No, but I had that too.
Yeah, do you?
No, but in Eddie's defense, they draw them really sexy.
Well, did you like Robin Hood?
Robin Hood was quite sexy.
We've got Robin Hood. There he is. And that tunic is worn very low, I noticed. Yeah. He's packing. And we forced you to say you had a slight, not a yen for Wilma.
Wilma Flintstone, yeah.
But it was not to like. That was a hot cartoon lady, yeah. And then we asked Bradley, but you were top of your head. You were just like, oh yeah,
Straight up there.
Sexy cartoons, got them. So who did you like?
Well, there's two of them. Depending how old you are, She-Ra.
Good. Oh, look at She-Ra.
And then Chitara.
Chitara. Classic.
She ran quickly. She ran to get quickly.
Oh dear. Now, as we were saying, Anna, Into the Woods. It's not just you, it's the starriest cast.
It is a bit intimidating, yes.
Mad.
Yeah.
Tell the people, tell the people.
Oh, you know, I get embarrassed, I don't know, as though I'm bragging. Well, it's Meryl Streep and Emily Blunt and James Corden and Chris Pine and Johnny Depp as well. Yeah, so sexy folks.
Calm yourself.
And then I'm there, inexplicably.
It opens on the 9th of January, and if people aren't familiar with this musical, it's kind of a take on traditional fairy tales, but the idea is to go beyond happily ever after.
Exactly.
The story keeps going.
What happens after happily ever after. So yeah, the first half of the film is all sort of the fairy tales as we know and love them, and it makes us feel all warm and cozy and cuddly. And then after that, you know, things still transpire, we still exist, and things go sort of badly wrong in a lot of places, and you know, my prince cheats because he's a tool. And, you know, the giant is quite angry with Jack in the Beanstalk for, you know, stealing all his wares, and yeah, so there's consequences.
It gets dark. It does.
Oh yeah, it gets real.
Real, properly dark.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now, presumably, this movie will be opening in the cinemas of Portland, Maine.
Yes, I'm from Portland, Maine, and yes, luckily Into the Woods is a big enough movie that it kind of goes everywhere. But yes, I am in some films that open in sort of 10 cities. But my mother is very tenacious and wants to see my films on the big screen, and she will call the theaters and exhibitors and distributors and movie studios, or just you know, production companies, and sort of campaign to have my films reach my hometown. And if she succeeds, she'll then go with throngs of friends to make sure that it kind of does well, to show that, like, see, if you bring a movie to Portland, Maine, we appreciate independent film over here. It's very sweet.
Well, I'm sure your mother will enjoy this, because it is a terrific film. You should be so proud of it.
Thank you.
This is a clip. This is, in fact, just leading up to your song on the steps of the palace. This is Anna Kendrick in action as Cinderella.
He's a very smart prince. He's a prince who prepares, knowing this time I'd run from him. He spread pitch on the stairs, and I'm caught unawares. Well, it means that he cares. This is more than just malice. Better stop and take stock while you're standing here stuck on the steps of the palace.
Beautiful. You sound gorgeous.
No, but everything from just my breathing, I was like, God, is that what I sound like when I'm breathing? Really? Is it? I can't tell.
But it's so nice to have musicals back, because they used to be a rarity.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, is this your 5th?
It's one of 5 that I've done. Yeah,
they haven't
on
all
film.
come out yet. Pitch Perfect 2 is coming out.
Yeah, in the last 5 years.
Last 5 years coming
exactly.
out. Yeah. And you're so young, but already old hand at this. What
jaded,
age were
jaded
you?
Old chorus girl.
Well, no. How old were you when you got nominated for your first Tony?
12.
Okay. Wow. 12 and nominated for a Tony.
Yeah, I mean, it was sort of perfect because I was like, oh, that's nice, but I wasn't grown up enough to understand the gravity of what it meant to be nominated for a Tony Award, and so I didn't have a tiny 12-year-old nervous breakdown, addicted to tiny 12-year-old pills.
What were you going to say, Liam?
What was the show?
It's called High Society, based on the Grace Kelly film.
Sure.
Yeah. But actually, another tiny star in the West End of London, Eddie Redmayne.
Were you?
No.
You were in Oliver!
I thought I was.
You were in Oliver!
I was in Oliver. I was in a production of Oliver aged about 10 or 11, which was directed by Sam Mendes. I was workhouse boy number 46.
I remember that!
Do you remember?
Yes!
And in fact, Sam Mendes remained on my CV, even though I don't think I ever met him, until I had to go and meet him aged 31 for a meeting. I was like, I should probably cross him off. I have no idea who I am. But yeah, no, I was in Oliver, but it was a great moment.
Can you show us a little bit of your was this in the audition you did this dance?
You have very, very talented researchers.
I feel bad. Look, soon you'll be at the Oscars. This will be like a bad dream.
Okay. This is my
Do we need room?
Yeah, you need room.
Oh, yeah.
You have to consider yourself. You need room.
Okay, so will any bit of the song do?
No, Graham. Absolutely not.
What should they be?
I'll give you music.
Oh, okay, so you don't need
Feel free to sing along. And how well do you know Oliver? Do you know Oliver? No.
Don't drag me into this.
Please.
Okay, so we don't need music. You're good doing it all.
Okay.
Okay.
So basically, the dream was if you were 11 years old and you wanted to be an actor. I feel like everyone in England at some point played someone in Oliver, and I wanted to be in the gang, and I only got the part of workhouse boy number 43. But I did an audition, and I still remember the dance, and here's how it goes. Bum 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 bum. Conceal self at home. So strong. That's probably a
That was amazing. But there's a weird bit of me that was seeing Stephen Hawking doing that dance now. It was just very wrong. Yeah, luckily you'll see the movie after you've seen that, so it's fine. But seeing the movie before you see that, very bad idea. Right, let's take a pause to look at some more highlights of the year in the big red chair. Hello, now. Hello, madam. What's your name?
My name's Pam. I'm from Hull.
Pam, start your story, but I would brace yourself.
My husband had to have an angiogram, and the letter from the hospital said he had to have his pubic hair shaved.
Oh.
So I offered to do it with my lady shaver, which he enjoyed more than I did. And the next day, when I picked him up from the hospital, the procedure had been changed, and you no longer put the wire in the groin, it just went in your hand. So he didn't need to be shaved at all.
Can we get her more? Yeah, even more. Hello.
Hi.
Okay, we've high hopes. What's your name?
Shani.
Where are you from, Shani?
I'm from New Zealand.
Oh, she's from New Zealand. We always do well with New Zealanders, because even if the story's bad, voice hilarious.
Very funny.
So, Shani, are you living here or visiting?
I live here.
You live here? Woo! Smell the visa. Okay. What do you do?
I'm a florist.
A florist? You okay with that? Yep. And off you go with your story, Shani.
Okay, so mine's an embarrassing story about myself. The first time I tried at-home waxing, I brought some strips that you heat up.
Can I just stop you right there? Already, the New Zealand pronunciation of waxing is genius.
Especially that her name, Shani, rhymes with...
Okay, this is much cleaner. I had a vasectomy.
Go on, Andrew. Go on, Andrew. Go on, Andrew.
But maybe it was for health reasons.
Thank you. It was a vasectomy, and I remember getting a call a few months afterwards from the hospital saying, can I please produce a sample and take it in, because they wanted to confirm that everything was OK and the operation had worked. So I did the deed, and I ran quickly across the local Sainsbury's car park to the hospital, but didn't realise the lid of the jar had come off. I got to the hospital, and the nurse looked at me with a huge smile on her face, realised what had happened, and said, I'm sorry, you're going to have to come again, sir.
Great job. Hello, sir.
How you going?
Very good. His baby rocks him. Have you done this before?
No, mate.
Oh, okay.
No, mate. Oh, you go. How are you, mate? It's very good.
Off you go with your story.
Okay, well, basically, a couple of years ago, I had a serious knee injury and I went and got an X-ray done. The X-ray was from the waist down, and I went to my girlfriend's place, and her parents wanted to see the X-rays, so I held the X-rays up against the window. I was showing them, and they started laughing. I didn't realise what they were laughing at, and I looked at the X-ray and realised that, as it was from the waist down, there was a bit more on the X-ray than just my knee.
I'm very impressed if it got to your knee.
Yeah.
There we go. There's a bit coffee.
Yeah.
Okay, who's up next? Hello, nice lady.
Hello.
What's your name?
Jessica.
Jessica. Can you hear Jessica?
Pardon?
No, I'm not talking.
She's so sweet and she's French.
She's adorable. I don't think she's French.
She said, didn't she say, like, pardon?
No, she said pardon. She's posh. Do you want to go? Do you want to go? Okay, can you have a go in the chair? Okay, go you, go.
And do that again.
Okay.
Where's the chair?
Follow that man there. Follow his chair. Go you there. Okay. But hurry, we've got homes to go to. Okay.
By the way, this is the best time I've ever had on a talk show.
Oh, bless you. Thank you very much.
That's true.
Come and see us again.
That is true.
All right.
The champagne was cracked.
Yeah, I think it's the champagne, not the host. Okay, who's up next?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Hugh. I'm from West Sussex.
Hi, Hugh.
Hi. I just like to say that I think Matt Damon is really amazing in the fourth Bournemouth.
Hey! Well done. Very good. But now, obviously, clearly, we should be honest, we're not really here because look at these people. They've got lives. They're not really here on New Year's Eve. So where will you really be? What are you doing for New Year's Eve, Liam?
New Year's Eve, I'm going to be in the island of Anguilla.
Good answer. Okay, I mean, he's really raised the stakes there, everyone. And Anna, where are you going to be?
I am going to try to get Liam Neeson to take me on holiday.
That sounds good.
Hello, Liam. How are you? Yeah.
And Eddie?
I'm going to be down south, staying with some friends in a big house that someone's rented and hopefully getting drunk.
Okay. Is that allowed? Yes, but that sounds like there'll be horse riding involved and things like that.
Oh, you bastard.
Is it that kind of thing?
Yes, it is that kind. It is.
Will somebody get shot on New Year's Day?
I hope not.
And Bradley, because are you in the middle of training? Can you have
we're all
can you
going
have
on
fun?
a Beano to Margate if you're interested.
Lovely. I don't know what any of that meant. What's the Beano to Margate?
Well, in other words, boys outing only.
Okay.
Margate.
That's a town.
That's the town.
Yeah.
Boys only. Coach trip from London.
It sounds like my kind of party. Apart from the destination, everything else sounds great. Okay. Right. That is nearly it. So, ladies and gentlemen, please say thank you to my guests, Bradley Wiggins, Eddie Redmayne, Anna Kendrick, and Liam Neeson. Now, singing us out. out with the song that won this year's Eurovision Song Contest, Rise Like a Phoenix. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Conchita!
Waking in the rubble, walking around glass. Neighbors say we're trouble. Well, the time has passed. Peering from the mirror, no, that isn't me. A stranger getting near. Who can this person be? You wouldn't know me at all today. From the fading light of fire, rise like a phoenix out of the ashes, seeking heaven and vengeance. Retribution you were born. Once I'm transformed, once I'm reborn. You know I will rise like a phoenix, but you're my flame. Go about your business, act as if you're free. No one could have witnessed what you did to me. 'Cause you wouldn't know me today. And you have got to see, to believe. From the fading light of light, rise like a phoenix out of the ashes, seeking heaven and vengeance. Retribution you were born. Once I'm transformed, once I'm reborn. I rise up to the sky. You threw me down, but I'm gonna fly. Rise like a phoenix out of the ashes, seeking heaven and vengeance. Retribution you were born. Once I'm transformed, once I'm reborn. You know I will rise like a phoenix, but you're my
Wow! Conchita, everybody! Oh, beautiful job! Conchita! Great job! We'll be back on Friday, the 9th of January.